our top stories this week. I bet you didn't know that June is National Reunification Month. That's because the child protective industry doesn't make that big of a deal about it. In Canada, the province of Saskatchewan is set to apologize for taking too many Aboriginal kids from their families during a time known as the 60s scoop, but still refuses any compensation for them. In Kentucky, CPS agents have lost track of almost 100 cases of alleged child abuse or neglect as their caseloads continue to mount. And in Michigan, homeschoolers are now required to register with the State Board of Education and submit to biannual inspections by the child protective industry. In Massachusetts, lawmakers are pushing for Justina's law that would give parents the right to make medical decisions on behalf of their own children. About 25% of Massachusetts CPS agents still aren't licensed to do the job. In New York, black kids are much more likely to be split up from their brothers and sisters while in foster care than are white kids. In Nebraska, a school district is accused of requiring a teacher and a guidance counselor to contact parents before ratting them out to the child protective industry. And in New Zealand, the child protective industry isn't paying their social workers. In England, social workers are finally starting to feel the effects of those who are speaking out against them on the internet. An independent review is being launched that will examine why so many British foster kids end up in the criminal justice system, while reported concerns about child welfare officials triple over the last 5 years. And a new study released by Tulane University finds that foster kids who live in stable placements have fewer emotional and behavioral problems than foster kids who are bounced around from home to home. In Arizona, a man was arrested for hitting a 10-month-old foster child for spitting out her food. In Las Vegas, Nevada, the daughter-in-law of a CPS supervisor is set to plead guilty to child abuse. In Pennsylvania, a foster father was arrested for beating 2 kids with a broom and a belt. And in India, a woman was arrested for punishing her foster daughter for wetting the bed by putting chili powder on her genitals. In Alberta, Canada, a public inquiry is looking into the death of 4-month-old Delana Sullivan, who died after being in foster care for only 6 days. And a U.S. Senate committee is probing the country's largest for-profit foster care firm and are requesting detailed information about the firm's business practices and treatment of the thousands of foster kids in its care. In Florida, the child protective industry is investigating one of their transportation personnel for raping a foster kid. In North Dakota, a man gets 18 months in jail for having sex with a 15-year-old foster child. In Santa Fe, New Mexico, a former coach and foster parent goes to trial for sexual contact of a minor. And in Illinois, a foster mother is incarcerated for forcing her daughter to falsely accuse the father of sexual abuse. In Kentucky, a foster father was arrested after a 3-year-old was located walking down the road. And finally, tonight in Colorado, a real mother is suing the state for strip searching her child without parental consent. For these stories and all the latest dirt on the child protective industry, visit www.legallykidnapped.com. And until next week, this is Baby LK, over and out.